All right. Welcome back to the I Hate It Here podcast. It's been a while. Had to take a little break, but we're back with a good episode. I've been trying to put this episode together for a while. We will be talking about co-parenting and the struggles that men go through trying to navigate the court system, trying to, deal with their baby mothers. Not saying that females don't go through struggles also. Don't want you coming for me, but we're going to get an idea of what everybody goes through and see how fair the legal system really is. Joining me today, I have personally the best attorney on the planet. She's gotten me throughout all my legal stuff. Whether it's divorce, baby mama issues, all that good stuff. I have my boy Izzy, and we have a new guest. What's your name again? Forgot. Sorry. Kira.
It's K.
K. All right, we're gonna call her K. All right. So, we're gonna introduce, starting with Kathy. Talk to the people.
Hi, it's Kathy Mark. I'm an attorney, and that's it. I practice matrimonial, family, real estate, personal injury, and various other stuff.
Okay. Mr. Izzy.
What's up? My name is Izzy. Yes, I'm in construction. I'm a father.
Izzy, why we acting like this the first time you're here, bro? What are we doing?
See, man, I got nerves. Trying to make sure I'm good. That's why I got a little something in my cup right now.
All right, cool. Kay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kay. I am a paralegal in the family law department. And my Instagram is _perfectly_polished.
Oh, paralegal.
Yes.
This is going to be really interesting now. Okay. All right. So every episode we usually start off with an I hate it here moment. I'm still thinking about mine, so we're going to start with Kay. What is your I hate it here moment?
I hate it here moment is me having to wait 6 years to be able to finally have full custody of my child.
Oh, we're going to circle back to that one.
Damn.
All right. Izzy, what you got?
Me? I couldn't think of anything quick enough, but my I hate it moment right now is how messed up the weather's been lately. The gray. I'm up early, so I don't get to see the sun rise and all that stuff. So when I go home, it's still like, cloudy and stuff. It's a little depressing right
I
now.
thought you were construction. Aren't you outside?
Not right now. Not the job I'm working right now. No.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
it's the weather is affecting me a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah.
You on vampire mode. You need some sunlight.
Listen,
You
man.
gotta feed that melanin. All right. Kat,
Take your vitamins, guys.
your I hate it here moment. Well, whenever it happened.
Stupid people who insist on procreating and making more stupid people putting them on this earth. That's my I hate it here.
Amen.
You know what? That's what I said.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's-
to say that. That's one of the reasons why you're in business. Though. Think about it.
well, that's true too. Making a shit ton of money because of stupid people.
You know what I mean?
All right. So, first question. We'll dance around a little bit. So, Izzy, I know you've been dealing with some family issues as of recent. I think when you first started going through it, I did sympathize with you. I told you, it's gonna get real shitty before it gets good. Just tell us, what it's been like from the moment you weren't able to see your son anymore to the point that you're at now.
Just gotta jump right into it. For me, it's more of I've been blessed enough to be around my father for 24, 25 years. I just lost my father maybe 3 years ago. So,
Condolences.
yeah, he was always there for me. Like, I mean, he wasn't there like the way I would want, in a way like emotional, but provided like and learned a lot from him. So, me not able to have the imprint of my son the way I wanted to is, of course, it's a struggle. You know what I mean? I just think no one can teach my son as a black man how to be a black man in America than me. You know what I mean? Because I live it every day. Like I'm a big dude, so when people see me at first, if I don't give them a smile, you can see some type of some type of terror, some type of hesitation from them. So I make sure I articulate myself very well. You know, educate yourself in how you speak, how you walk, how you talk. And it sucks that you have to do that, but it is how it is. So me not able to have that effect on my son the way I want to, that's the problem for me. But then again, you know what? I can't let that stop me. So, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing to make sure everything's aligned for what I want to happen.
Okay.
And I hope and pray more fathers do that. You know,
Okay.
Fight for your kids.
Quick question for you. Did you see it coming?
Be honest with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you did see it coming?
Yeah. But too late though.
At what point was it too late?
Too late. I don't remember exactly, but I said too late.
Okay.
I mean, yo, I try to see the good in people. One thing I would, you know when you see red flags and you're like, all right, okay, in my head I'm like, that's not gonna affect me, so I'm not gonna, that's why I disregard it. But you see it, trust. If anybody tell me they don't see it, bro, then you're blind. So me saying like, did I see it coming? Yeah. I remember I'm going through the whole process. I'm like, I'm really telling like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. And look, it's happened. So all I can do is change what I can change. What is gonna change? Is gonna change. That's it. Leave the rest up to God. So.
Okay. Okay. So you said it took 6 years before you could get full custody.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you had a pretty rough battle.
Definitely.
All right. So take us back to year one. What happened? Why?
So my son is 12. And for 6 years of his life, his father was not involved at all. And we were supposed to move to Georgia. So my mom insisted, like, you know, you've been doing this by yourself for 6 years, put him on child support. And the minute I put him on child support, he ended up going to get custody because someone told him that if he got custody or visitation that he would not have to pay child support, which is not true. So going through that battle, I got slapped with that. I wasn't able to move. I wasn't able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically stuck. Then COVID happened. And then after COVID happened, then, you know, still going back and forth, you know, advocating for my child. My mom was sick prior to COVID and she had cancer, and I would miss some of like the mediation because my mom had appointments, and I would let my attorney know, could you adjourn the case, could you adjourn the court date, whatever. And anybody who knows Queens Court, they do not respond in duly fashion, and my mom is sick, so I mean, no offense, I could really care less what a judge has to say. So that was a thing, and then, you know, I was being told that I'm being reluctant to let him spend time with his father. Meanwhile, I'm getting text messages saying that he's doing it to spite me. It's not even about the relationship with my son. And then you can't present any evidence because it's not trial. So I can't show a judge like, hey, this is what he's saying to me. I can't do that. So it was just a constant back and forth. In 1 year, he only saw my son twice, 365 days. He was supposed to see him every other weekend, and only saw him 2 times out of the whole year.
Bro?
Yes.
So hold on, that first year when he only saw him twice, there was a visitation order already in?
Yeah.
And he had every other weekend, but still only saw him twice?
Only saw him twice.
Okay.
At one point, he was telling them, like, she's not bringing him to the visits, and she's not this, and...
Wait, hold on, he had visitation, or he had like overnights?
So I would have to bring him to a location. At first it was at the precinct, and then my son didn't like that.
It was that bad?
Yeah, because there's an OP.
Or was it a TPO?
Yeah.
Restraining order?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Damn.
yeah. So
it wasn't overnight with the kid?
No, it wasn't overnight at this point. No. And the TPO was for me.
Okay.
Hold on, can we tell the people that...
TOP, it's a temporary order of protection.
Okay.
Now it's final. Boom.
Wait.
After 6 years.
Hold on. So he placed that on you?
No. It was placed... I already had that from when I was pregnant. And prior to pregnancy, I had one. And then...
Wait, hold on.
Wait, should I back up and start from the beginning?
Time out. Wait.
This is what I mean, James. Now, this is my next question. Like, Respectfully, of course. Like, how were you acting while you were pregnant?
How was he acting?
How were you acting when you were pregnant?
Wait, hold on. Fuck that. She said she had a TPO before she was pregnant.
I'm confused.
So-
you had it on him?
Yes.
Oh, on him.
He's never had it on me.
Who?
So if
I'm
you had
thinking
that
like
on
you
him
did-
before you were pregnant,
I found out I was
you
pregnant
went
at 5
and
months.
got pregnant?
No, I found out I was pregnant when I was 5 months. November 12th, 2011.
You found it for 5 months? How?
I was flat. I had no symptoms. I didn't have nothing.
How about
The cycle, my cycle's regular. I don't get it every month. So I had no idea I was pregnant. Absolutely not.
This is-
I went for a regular
okay.
checkup
This
and
is
boom,
crazy.
baby.
This is crazy, man.
Okay. Continue.
Yes. And yeah, even with that, like the day I found out, homie tried to fight me because he didn't want the baby, and I'm like, I'm ready for. There's nothing I could do about that. Gave him the rundown. Like, regardless if you're here or not, I don't need you to be here. And regardless of the fact, I'm still gonna take care of my kid.
I got a problem with that statement, right? But we're
Well,
gonna circle back around to
why
that.
I said it is because he was physically assaulting me,
Okay.
trying to terminate my pregnancy.
Okay.
So his thing was like, I'm basically keeping the baby and he doesn't want the child. But at 5 months, I can't do anything.
Right.
I can't terminate the pregnancy, and I'm not giving my baby for adoption.
And even that.
So if you're gonna be there or not, regardless, I'm still gonna do what I have to do.
I just feel after that long, alright, so if you decided and you already told him, if you don't want to be involved, that's
Yeah, it is what it is. Like,
So-
at that point, it's like, if you don't want the child and you don't want to be there, then that's fine.
As much as I hate to say that, that's your way out, brother. If you don't want to be involved in it, some
Right.
situations it's better for you not to be involved at all than to drag yourself in it and to make it like a petty back and forth.
Right, I understand that too, but my problem with that whole concept is, and she said it verbally, she said, whether you want to be in it or not, I'm going to do what I have to do to take care of my child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So he was already displaying the fact that he didn't want to have a baby with you, he didn't want to be with you or nothing like that. Cool. You decided to have your baby anyways.
Mm-hmm.
No, he wanted me, but just not the baby.
Okay, but he can't have you without the baby.
Exactly.
All
That's
right,
even
cool.
worse, bro.
Right, but why didn't put him on child support?
May I?
Not yet, hold on.
Oh, you said, why did I, after
Yeah.
6 years, put him on child support?
Oh, this child support didn't happen right away. You put him on
No.
child support 6 years later?
6 years after, yes.
See, I have an even bigger problem with that. Why are we doing that?
I put him on child support 6 years after. One, because, like, financially, I was doing really great. My mom got sick. I went through a whole depression, lost a job. Now I'm taking care of my son. He's in swimming. He plays chess. He's basketball.
So now you're asking for some type of financial
So
support.
you need to, it's warranted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this by myself without asking for nothing. So
So why not ask him to sign over his rights?
he didn't want.
He didn't want the baby.
But he didn't want to. After I got with someone else, it made it completely worse.
Okay, so not only did he want the baby, but he didn't want to sign over his rights either.
Nope.
This is a
It's
toxic
all about.
triangle.
Yeah, it's one of those toxic situations.
It's one of those toxic situations because he was a complete narcissist and he's very controlling. Very controlling. Like, when we were together, I was working, I was bartending and everything. He wanted me to bartend. He didn't want me to have any job where I was around people. So retail couldn't do it. If I had an office
This
job,
is secure.
yes. If I had an office job and a cubicle, that was fine for him. And if work from home was like
As
really
if
a thing, like,
As if you wouldn't have a work husband or something that come on.
No, it's not.
right. So that, yes, like, that was an issue for him. Like, he just didn't want me around anybody. Like, he just
Okay.
wanted me, like, to
So hold that thought right there. So, Kat, I can only imagine how many times you come across these type of situations. But I call you the man's lawyer because you represent a lot of fathers who are going or trying to navigate the court system, and it's not the easiest thing, especially for men, right?
Okay.
So, from your experience, for general right now, what have you seen? What do you dislike? What do you think it's okay? What would you change?
It's a long process, and if you know how to play the system, you can just keep adjourning and adjourning. So whoever has the child initially, whether it's the mom or the dad, and I'm going to say the majority of the time it's the mom,
Right.
right? For whatever the reason. if that mom, for whatever reason, is bent on not allowing the dad to have access to the child and to have custody, visitation, or anything, just keep adjourning it. Just keep coming up with reasons as to why the case today cannot happen, right? And if it doesn't happen, so in the beginning of the case, if there's the kid involved, an attorney will be appointed to protect the interest of the child, right? Because each party can get whatever attorney, right? But the court wants to make sure child is protected, right? So when you first come in, you get to adjourn it so you can say you need an attorney, right? So you don't get to see the child, right? That's one. When you do come back, right? Let's say you do get an attorney, you do come back, then the court is going to say, okay, now they need to appoint an attorney for the child. Or the attorney is going to come and say, I don't really know anything about the kid. If it's a kid they can speak with, where they're of age and can have a conversation, they're going to adjourn it so they can talk to the kid. Talking about so we're talking about like 5 months down the line now.
An attorney gets appointed to the child at no matter what age?
No,
Yeah.
if she's allowed to communicate.
If she can communicate, but yeah, if she can communicate, an attorney will be appointed to
But if the
protect
child is
the
not of age to
interest.
communicate, then they don't get an attorney.
Not necessarily. Not
So
necessarily.
12-year-old's gonna get an attorney?
Well, sometimes they need, not necessarily, even if they can't communicate, but sometimes, for example, just to see the condition of the child or to see the environment where the child is being brought up and stuff like that, go in and even speak with other people. Like sometimes both parties can say, hey, talk to these people, friends, family members, or the mom, if the mom has the child and lives with whomever, mom can say, hey, talk to these people and get an idea what is going on with the kid. That's assuming the kid can talk.
Gotcha. Okay.
But just to go back on something you said, right? And I think one of you asked why put him on child support. That's your kid. It's your kid, right? So whether or not you decided you didn't want the kid, like we're past that. Mm-hmm. You did have a kid. And if you didn't want to deal with this, you should have done whatever it is you needed to do. Get a vasectomy, strap on, whatever. Don't have a kid. But once you have a kid, it can't be, why are you putting me on child support? Like one person, mom or dad, should not take that financial responsibility. That kid's gonna go to college. Someone's gotta pay for that.
Yeah, no, it's.
And kids who do not have the financial backing of parents, they don't do as well because there's not enough money. Right? They can't. They're not as well rounded. They don't have extracurricular activities, and they can't go to particular schools. They can't engage in certain stuff.
Because you want to keep them stimulated. So
yeah.
Yeah. No.
And one parent should not bear that entire burden.
No,
it's a burden.
No, I agree with you. One parent shouldn't be of that entire burden. I think what makes her case special though is one, she got pregnant, had no symptoms. So 5 months later, she's 5 months in, didn't really know she was pregnant. This guy is probably thinking, oh, okay, there's no child in this for me. But the moment he finds out, it's like, wait a minute, you're 5 months in and now I'm stuck. So I think at that point, a conversation should be had. It's like, yo, listen, I understand what situation you're in, but I don't want this kid. I should be able to buy out of it gracefully without having no repercussions down the line. 6 years later,
lobby Congress and get the laws changed.
Because that's
not
insanity.
The laws right now.
Because then you're gonna tell me I'm gonna assume they backed all of that, all 6 years.
Not necessarily true. No, New York State.
No, it's from the date of the filing.
It's from the date of the filing. But there are some cases where judges are very lenient and they will do it back from whatever from whenever. Like they'll do it all the way back. In certain states, they do it from date of conception. Okay.
That would make sense.
They do. I'm telling you, Georgia, Texas, Florida, those southern states.
Yeah, there was a couple states I heard they're gonna start doing it from the time of conception. Yeah.
I'm sure they do, but at that point, I'm seeing it as like you guys. I think the law is very biased.
Yeah, that is strapping someone for the rest of their lives.
Literally, because that's a financial burden.
Yeah.
It is a financial burden.
It is a financial, but guess what? Right? One hand can't clap.
True.
So for right now, I'm a single mom. Okay, and single all the way around. Okay, so there is no boyfriend, there is no, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's just me. I have a car note, okay, for a brand new car insurance. I have rent, light, I have gas. My son plays basketball, AAU, so them tournament fees are out of control. He does swimming. I said he plays chess, right? All of these things he does is coming out of my pocket. Plus, on top of that, he has a 529. I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
Right.
Okay? My child has a 520. You should look into it.
College.
Son.
Yeah.
It's for college.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an investment.
I got you. So we won't talk after.
Yeah. So I have that too, all that stuff. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Then I have my savings to worry about. I have my son's savings on top of the 529 to worry about as well. All of that is coming from me. And as a mom, I'm burnt out. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Like the other day, I literally had like a mental breakdown because I'm juggling everything, all hats. I have to be everywhere at all times. Gotta be at work, drive an hour to go to work, come home. Thank God my kid is responsible in a sense where like he can leave school, go straight to basketball practice. If anything, I'll pick him up. His coach will bring him back home. Then I gotta make sure that he eats. I have to do laundry. I gotta fold it in his own room. Sometimes I gotta help him clean it up because he's in basketball all the time. He's literally exhausted, you know? All of this is weighing down on me. Then he's a preteen, so the attitudes, you know what I'm saying, all of that, it's a lot. And I'm not a man, and I'm 5'3", my son is 5'10". I can't really, you know what I'm saying? He looks at me like, girl,
that's crazy.
You feel me?
Right.
So it's like, it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult. And it's not only about the financial aspect for me, because guess what? If his father was present in his life and he didn't have the funds, that would be sufficient enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not always about money. That's monetary things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you're not even there on the back end. Calling him on the phone, telling him, yeah, I'm going to show up to your game. My child's sitting there looking like a sad puppy at his basketball game, not playing the way how he normally plays because he's waiting for you to come. That's an issue and a problem for me. Mm-hmm. And then 15 years down the line, he goes to the NBA. What you going to do? Say, that's my son. I did that?
Mm-hmm. Usually how it goes.
I did that? Well, I'm busting my behind, making sure that he's going to have enough money to go to college, that he has enough clothes on his back, that he got food in his mouth. I don't get food stamps. And my child eats me out of house and home. It's $500 at the grocery store to pick up a pack of chicken and a 20-pound bag of rice.
Yeah, everything going up, bro.
It's, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, for me, like I said, it's not only about money. It's about also doing what you're supposed to do as a parent. You know what I'm saying? And not trying to spite me as the mom. Because at the end of the day, I'm not really hurting, technically. My child is. So I hurt for my kid. Right. But you're not really doing anything to hurt me. Because I'm still doing, at the end of the day, I still got to get up and do what I got to do to make sure that my kid is good.
It actually bothers me when I see that. Because I can't fathom, as a father, whether you want it to be or not, how are you not involving your kid's life?
Yeah,
if you really can't. Like, what's the reason?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, unfortunately, the deadbeat thing, that's one of the oldest things in
But James, like, yo, it's getting corny now, bro.
It is, but I mean, we can't change that.
The stats show it, bro, because I've seen it.
Kids, I'm more worried about the fathers that are trying.
Oh, no, of course.
Can't get through the system successfully.
Yeah, no.
So, Kat, do you believe the family court system is fair towards men?
Having practiced for more than 20 years and seeing what I have seen, it is skewed. Men don't always get the fair shake. And let me say why. And like I said, the majority of the times what I see, they come in without counsel, right? And when they come in without counsel, you're at a disadvantage, right? Mm-hmm. And quite often, one of the things they do is when you tell them, like, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, this is what's happening. And I'll say, take a preemptive strike, go and do this. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to do this. Okay. And then she moves out of state with the kid. Well, it's not kidnapping because there's no order that tells you nor her you can't do it. Now you have a bigger problem. So when men do come in the law, even though the law says both parents have equal rights, no one parent has more rights than the other, not mom, not dad. For the most part, the parent who starts off with physical custody, quite often it's the woman. She has more leeway. And if she can get the child's attorney, the court-appointed attorney for the child on her side, it becomes an uphill battle.
So I have a question towards that then. So when we say when the child starts off with the physical custody towards with the mom, right? I think men are already at a disadvantage once you start there because women have this idea that they already have more rights than men do, than the fathers. So trying to make an arrangement with the mom outside of the courthouse, like, oh, okay, let's do a 50-50 type of arrangement. They don't usually go for that. It's always, oh, you have to have them on the weekends and stuff like that. Never understood why that is, but
Well, it also
that,
depends, right? How old the child is once the parties got to court, right? Because if we're talking about a really young kid, right, and child is newborn, less than a year or something like that, right? And okay, well, the court is gonna, there's nothing really established,
right? No,
but if we're talking about 6 years old, right, they're not gonna want to disturb the kid's life and completely uproot this child who this is what they know, and now you want them to go to a complete total stranger because that person is a stranger at this point.
Well, again, case situation is special.
But for some reason, in cases, right? So, if you have a couple and they have a child, right? So there are questions to be asked. One, if the child is living with the mom, why is that? Is that from the inception? Why is that? Right?
Because she didn't let me.
Then that's when you go to court immediately.
I think that's a problem.
And at some point,
that's no problem right there because men don't do that.
Right, have to stop. Listen, you can try and you should try, right? And no matter how nice it is, no matter how friendly it is, no matter how lovely it is, you all should get something in writing.
True. Now hold on. Here's a scenario for you, Kat. Let's say before we got to court, the kid is, let's say, 1.5, right?
Okay.
And me and her came to an agreement that I take him every other weekend, right? And one weekend I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just keep him and I'll bring him to school on Monday. And she goes, no. I want my child bringing home now. This is an agreement just between me and her. Legally, can I keep him in? And if she calls the cops, nothing is gonna happen, or do I have to return the child back to the mom?
Okay. Disclaimer. So, I only practice in New York, so I know the laws in New York. But I can only give legal advice to people who have retained me and all my clients, and I'm their attorney. So I'm not giving legal advice to anyone. That being said, if you don't have something in writing, and especially if there isn't a court order, and it's your child, you have a birth certificate, and you hold your kid extra for a day, that's what it is. You're not breaking any law.
Okay, so even if she were to call
It's
the
your
cops
child.
and the cops come, they can't do nothing.
They will tell you that it's like landlord tenant. They will tell you this is not outside of their jurisdiction. Take it to court. Let the court resolve it. And I'm not telling moms or dad once you make an arrangement to go outside of that arrangement.
Right.
And this is why, again, I go back to us attorneys. We like to see things in black and white on a piece of paper. Put it in writing. Let there be a text. Send an email, because we can't prove a telephone conversation.
Okay, so
we can't prove a verbal conversation.
So a text will hold up at a point if we ever get to court where me and her had a conversation and say, hey, this is the arrangement. You have him Monday, I have him Tuesday, Wednesday, back and forth, and we swap every other weekend. If I have that in black and white in a text, and then for some reason we have to go to court, that will hold up?
If you have something in writing, right, and you got to look at the details of the writing. Like, if you're holding for a week, like for how long are we doing this? Are we doing this until this kid turns 21? Or we just doing this for a month? Or we do this?
Okay.
Yeah, there has to be some specificity as to what it is you're doing. Be as detailed as you possibly can. I strongly suggest you both get an attorney. Even if you want, just get it looked at. Because when someone decides to get angry and retaliate for one reason or another, someone is going to get very hurt and will be left out for a while without that kid until we can get an order in place.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Sure.
If the father of your son wanted 50% custody when you first started going to court, would you have given it?
No.
Why?
Why?
Because of the physical abuse that I endured.
But that was towards you, not towards the child.
I was pregnant.
It's still towards you, not the child.
But no, the actions towards, if you can physically put your hands on me punch me, kick me, and tell me that you want to terminate my pregnancy. And this is where the laws where I get really agitated with, where they're like, oh, we're pro life, no pro. But it's from the womb to the tomb. That's how I see it. So if you can physically assault me while I'm pregnant, what makes me think that you're not going to physically assault my child?
Okay, so I'm not taking up for him.
No,
I'm gonna make that very clear. I'm not taking up for him.
No.
Just playing devil's advocate here.
Sure.
So, fine. You told him he was pregnant, or however that situation went. He got angry, probably caught him off guard. At 5 months in, he's probably like, "What the fuck is going on?" Blah blah blah. Right? Fine. He had a lapse in judgment in that moment. He tried to hurt you, and 6 months later, he's come to his senses. He realized, "Yo, listen, there ain't nothing I can do about this shit now. I would like to be in my son's life. I would like 50% custody." Why wouldn't you go for that?
Because I wouldn't.
That's the only reason. Because you just wouldn't.
I cannot.
So you wouldn't be able to forgive the fact that he tried to assault you. Although, let's say he apologized. Let's say, listen, hey,
rapists
I'm
apologize
sorry.
all the time and they still go back out and do it. Serial killers go apologize and they just go back and do it.
Right, but again, this was an attack towards you. Although it was because of he wanted to terminate the baby, he's come to his senses now. So you wouldn't forgive that.
I wouldn't forgive that because of how he is as a person. He's very irate. When things don't go his way, he gets upset. And with a child, especially when they're babies, they're not speaking, they're crying, you're not going. You know how many cases I see at work where like parents beat the crap out their kids, punch them in the head, slam them against walls because they're crying? My child's not going to be a poster child for that. Absolutely not. Okay. So I'm not taking any chances when it comes to my kid's life. When my child can speak, he can talk, then that's fine by me. And if my kid is uncomfortable, and like I tell my son now, he's 12 years old, I said, if you see my aunt and you don't like her, and you don't want to give her a hug, or you don't want to do it, I'm not forcing you to do that.
I agree.
I'm not forcing you to do that. So even if it's his own father, I'm not forcing you to do that. If you tell me, Mom, I don't feel comfortable, I don't really want to go over there every other weekend, can we just do it one day or a couple of hours and I come home? That's his decision. And guess what?
Well, yeah, 12 I can respect that.
No, and even if he wasn't 12, he was 4 years old, he came to me and told me that. Because he doesn't feel comfortable, I'm not going to force that on him. I'm not. It could be my own mother. I'm not forcing that on him. So no. Because of his actions that he displayed prior to me being pregnant, physically assaulting me during my pregnancy and even after my pregnancy, absolutely not. If I'm not there to supervise the visit, then no.
Okay.
If he was different, a different person, and wasn't abusive, then that's a totally different story.
Alright, I can respect that. Izzy, in your process right now, is the fight to have 50% custody? Is that the goal?
Of course. I mean, I believe I should be involved in my child's say in life as much as she does, even though I'm not gonna address how she feels or where she stands about. I'm just gonna just where I stand, because even though I'm not quote unquote with the mom, I still want to be involved with my son. I still want to have an actual relationship with my son. Like, certain things I learned, I'm gonna teach him. So then, I have an emotional connection with him. Really being able to make him breakfast, do homework with him, or just show him, what, this is how you do this is how you do that, or don't do this, don't do that. I want my son to have that relationship that I wanted with my parents. You know what? This is what I'm going through, and I'm not gonna be the type to sit there and lie to my kid, man. If I don't know it, I don't know. Let's do some research on it, or let's go to talk to somebody about it that knows more about it than I do. So, because I feel like a lot of parents lie to their kids, and it's not because they want to or whatever it is. Sometimes, they don't want to look better for their kids, and that's how it is. But as a father myself, I've been here since day one. No excuses. What's up? Been here, doctor appointments, all that.
Okay.
I'm not like, did I want to be in some of these situations? Not really. And not because of the kid, but I was there, in spite of all that. So, because I kept saying is, this is for my son. You know what I mean? And if you see my son is very joyful. Like this kid is just like, because I do have that joyful side of me myself, but like when I see him, oh man, this kid just look at him and makes your day. It's crazy, because he's very curious. He's very, there's certain things that he likes to do, and you just sit there and you look at him and do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he looks like me too, so.
Alright, Kat, question for you then. How successful have you been in getting fathers that want to have 50% custody get it?
I actually don't have any cases where the father didn't get what they wanted from court. But I've never represented a man who, if I found out the person and it was documented, there was some physical abuse, I will ask the court to relieve me as counsel. I don't want to represent that. That's one. But every father whom I've represented has been a dad who legit wanted to be involved in their child's life. I mean, fought, and and even whether it was in a divorce, right? And I'm like, this is gonna cost you some money, right? Or in family court, and I'm like, this is gonna be a very lengthy process. Every single last one of them said, however long it takes, or whatever it is it costs, then however I'm gonna do the financing, they were okay with that. So the majority not the majority, pretty much every one of them has gotten exactly what they wanted.
Okay. If you could change something about the family court system right this second, if you had the power, what would it be?
Unless there is some documentation to show that a parent, the man or the woman, is unfit for some reason, you would have to show why this parent should not get it, as opposed to the parent having to show why they should be entitled to be a parent. So, for example, it would be 50-50.
Okay.
That would be that's what we're starting off. Now, there would be some exceptions. For example, if you haven't been involved in the child's life, you're not getting 50-50. You're going to start off with supervised visits. That's going to go on for a while. Then you're going to start getting like maybe an overnight, right? And let's see how that goes. That goes for a while. Let's see how that relationship is building. Because the ultimate goal should be for the child to have a relationship with whichever parent, whether it's the dad or the mom, right? Mm-hmm. Because kids who have healthy parents, right? And I mean like mentally, like people who want a parent, and they just do better in life. So I would absolutely start with this. Listen, we're going to start with the 50-50, right? So for example, in a case where the dad's been there from the beginning, you say you've been there from the beginning, right? That's what we're starting for. You can adjourn it all you want. You're going to have to show why.
Because eventually it's going to catch up to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how much longer can you just prolong for? Because if you're trying to just prolong it just for petty reasons or whatever it may be. Because everybody seems to think they have a proper reason for what they're doing.
Gotcha.
So how much longer can this go for?
So okay, does the response? Well, no, not responsibilities. I guess, does it matter whether the parents were married or unmarried as what rights each person has?
Oddly enough, children who outside of marriage actually have more rights than children in the marriage, right? We can actually force parents who are not married to do stuff that you can't force married parents to do for their kids.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's the thing?
Can you have an example?
Can't force married people to pay for their kids' college. If they're not married, you can force them to pay for their kids' college.
Wait, hold on.
I mean, you want an example,
this
right?
This is by the law, man.
That's in a divorce case.
Right.
That's completely different.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People who are married,
Right.
you can't force them to do things for their kids. But if they're not married, whether it's a divorce or whether they were never married to begin with, you can force them to do things for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell is that?
Because
Well, talk to the legislature.
Oh,
That's just the
we're
law.
going back to this legislators.
Yeah.
Look at.
Yo, Izzy, we might have to run for some kind of office,
Listen,
bro. Because we're gonna have to change this shit.
I'm telling you because I've done research and I'm looking at this court situation. I'm like, listen, man. A lot of the times, everybody's involved. That's involved in it is getting paid. Lawyers, judge, the officers and all that. Even the state is getting paid. So like, it's all about. At the end of it, I'm just like, this is like, unless you're really born there fighting for your kid, this is gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna waste your money. I know you have it, and I know you're willing to do it. I know what, how you point of witnesses. I'm like, so okay, I'm gonna keep doing that because I know it's gonna affect you in that way. And it's just like, come on, man.
Okay.
No sense.
So back to Kat real quick. So as far as child support goes, right?
Okay.
If the mother of that child is on any type of assistance, whether it's Section 8, food stamps, child care, whatever like that, and they put the father on child support.
The mother?
The mother.
Okay.
Now, from what I understand is they don't actually get the money. That money goes back to the state.
It's not really the mother, it's actually the municipality itself, you know, human resources services, whoever it is, that's gonna start the process. The mom is not getting the money because she would be double dipping.
Right.
Or the dad, whoever is getting assistance from the city, would not be getting the child support because you're not financially supporting the kid. The city is.
So why is it that when the woman goes into the HRA office to file for whatever they're trying to get, right? It doesn't seem like they're telling them like, hey, listen, we're going to put this person on child support, but you're not getting the money. Sometimes it seems like they don't find that out till afterwards.
Quite often.
And why is
like,
that?
I'll
It sounds
get
like a state money grab.
No, I'll get
Sounds like
like
it.
so
That's
we'll be in
exactly
court
what it is.
and you know the parent who's on child support, who's on public assistance will say something like he's not paying or she's not paying, and it's like you're not getting the money, but it's being taken directly from his account and it's going directly to the city or the department that's paying for whatever that public assistance, you know, food stamps or whatever, housing, whatever.
So without knowing the inner workings of the city, because you don't work for the city, why do you think that is? Why do you think they refrain from telling the mothers that information prior?
I have no idea. Money does make the world go round, but I don't know why they don't tell women or men or whoever is receiving public assistance to, by the way, you're not getting this money. You know, we're getting this money because we're the ones providing for the child.
Okay, you have an idea?
Because again, they also, hold on one second. They also get a portion of it, right? And even if the person is not receiving public assistance, if the two parties are not paying each other, right? Like the money's not going directly from one party to the other, and we going through SCU, like if support collection unit is getting the money, they're getting a portion of it, and you're getting the rest. You're not getting the $100. You're getting a percentage of that because they're getting a percentage.
Yep.
So yes, money does make the world go round.
So, Kay, what's your take on that?
No, what she said was correct. Because, you know, I see that at work. So, SCU, once it goes through, like, they take a percentage. It's like a transaction thing. Like, you pay electronically, you have to take a percentage, and then you get the rest. You know? So what she said is true. Like, money does make the world go round. It's like, yeah, he got to pay you, but he got to pay us, too. But mind you, they literally should have nothing to do with it, but
So
they're
like,
third party.
I've always wondered that. Why do they...
So they should...
But they don't tell. I feel like the reason why they don't tell these women or these men who are on public assistance is because it'll refrain them from going to HRA and asking for that child support. That's why like there's like this like infomercial that we had sent out to a lot of people to let them know like, oh no, you know, even if you put your baby daddy or baby mama on child support, it's not gonna make anything to do with your benefits. But it's kind of blindsiding, you know, the mother or the father, because it's just like you're not telling these people that they're not physically getting that money. So they're going to be looking for that extra cash on that child support card that they tell you that they're going to give you, or on the EBT card that you're never going to get. So if you get PA, which is cash assistance or food stamps, you're still going to get the same thing. You're still going to get, the number is never going to change. It's not going to change for you.
Right.
Because they're taking it because they're like, well, we're feeding you, you know, and we're basically doing what your baby daddy wants to do. We the baby daddy. So now we need our money back. So reparation, basically.
So here's a scenario then. So let's say you have gotten pregnant by a 6-figure earner. They're taxing him 17%. That money's going to HRA.
Not necessarily true, because
if
you make over, correct me if I'm wrong, if you make over a certain amount of money.
Is it 125?
Yeah.
I don't remember the number.
What's 125?
The cap, I think it's 125. I don't remember the number.
125 what?
$1,000?
Yeah.
125,000 is the cap for what?
For the 17%.
Right.
But anything over that, the numbers change.
To what?
Oh, so it's 17% up to 125K.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that's the exact.
Okay, but let's just go with that's the scenario. Let's say he makes 120K, so they're taxing him 17%. So 17% of 25K,
For one
125 is pretty much.
That's for one child.
That's for one child.
Okay.
That's
Almost
a,
like
that's a
20, right?
substantial amount of money.
It's almost like
Now,
20,000, right?
it's about, yeah. But now let's say they only giving the baby mother what? I think 2 people on food stamps is maybe 600 maybe. And what else do they get? Section 8, maybe they're paying some rent for them. I mean, it's not like they're living in a luxury building, so that rent isn't like too crazy. That money that they're getting seems to be a lot more than what they're actually giving you. So somebody's profiting off of this a lot more than the other person.
That's what
The state. What you mean?
People
Right.
take loopholes and they don't go through HRA. They just go straight to the court and just file a petition, and they're able to still get that money.
Right, that's if you go straight through the court.
Right, but that's where HRA kind of like gets people.
Oh, they're gonna catch up to you.
Yeah, they'll catch up to you eventually. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying if you go to the courthouse to put me on child support, why would the HR? How's the HRA catching up?
They'll catch up
Well,
to you.
that's if you're on assistance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it in a way like if
No.
HRA will get involved even though you're not on assistance.
Oh no.
Ah, okay.
So you'll get away with it
For a little bit.
For a little bit, you know. So if you getting them 20 bands or whatever, yeah, you gonna get them, but they gonna come back at you. They won't technically ask you back for the full amount. They'll be like, okay, well, we gave you $600 in food stamps and $200 in cash, so we need $800 back for each month that we've ever paid you, and that's what they'll do.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Is that what?
Hey.
Is that what interest?
But
or
then,
no?
but then,
I don't know if they're charging interest on that.
no.
They're not like the
They don't-
IRS.
no.
but not.
No.
But
I
then,
like
but
the
then,
You see?
if the roles were reversed, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be getting paid $20,000 a month, and I'm on PA, and you're taking the full $20,000.
You're at a disadvantage for
Right?
Yeah,
Like
big
I
disadvantage.
can't go to them and be like, I'm gonna need y'all to pay me back. I can't do that.
Right, but you just gotta come off all
I
of
gotta
that
come
public
off.
assistance
Right.
and then.
So as someone
I
that
wonder
refile.
if and refile, or does the money then just stop coming to the HR and they'll just send it to you directly?
Well, you didn't file.
Oh, they filed, so you would just have to go to child support court and file.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll have to
Okay.
say, yeah.
and you not
Jesus.
being naive and not knowing, especially for those that's being bitter and doing that, you not knowing what you're doing. You just like, you know what? Yeah, they're taxing him. Meanwhile, it's like, bro,
Like, sure, you
they're
ain't seen that
taking
either.
5. Yeah, for real. They're taking
Like
what?
I'm paying them 20 bands, and you only
Yeah.
get $800.
Like,
Like,
You're
for
getting
real.
what, $68, and they're
Right.
taking $300.
It is.
Exactly.
It is better
Pay period,
if
yeah.
2 parents just say, you know what? All right, fine.
and
I
that's
make-
what, right?
I make a substantial amount more money than you do. Okay, how much do you need to be somebody? Because as long as somebody else, as long as we're both trying, like you're both actively working, whatever it is, and of course, even if we had the kid both same amount, but I'm making substantial amount more money than you are, and you know, so I want my son to be as comfortable as he is with me, and he is with you. So,
Right.
how much would you need to be comfortable, whatever it is,
Well, hold
and
on.
give a reasonable.
Hold on. I don't agree with you there. Izzy.
Wait.
Hold on.
No.
Okay, hold on. Hold that thought.
I see,
No.
I see
Okay,
what
hold
you're
on.
saying.
Okay, hold that thought. Izzy, hold that thought.
Nope.
I don't agree with you there. Here's why, right?
Legally,
Izzy.
I don't agree.
Legally, she doesn't agree. We're gonna get to that in a second. Here's why I don't agree, right?
Uh-huh.
I worked my ass off to get to where I'm at today,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
So if I can provide for my kid in a certain way,
Uh-huh.
that's how I provide for my kid.
Mhm.
Just because you didn't do what you were supposed to do to get to where you needed to be in life to provide for your kid the same way I provide for my kid, that's not my problem. I'm still gonna compensate you for whatever, how many days, whatever schedule we worked out. I'm gonna give you something for it, fine. But it's not to match the same living.
Oh no! When I
Custom, that's
when I said that,
No,
I said that
no.
if we're both like, let's say if we're both working, like, all right, for some instance, they just take the sense of a basketball player, of course. Like, if I'm a basketball player and you're just a regular, like, you know, working a 9 to 5, I'm making millions and millions of dollars, and you just working. You know what I mean? That takes away from my time being with the kid, and you have to step up a little bit more than I do. So, as much as I would want it to be 50-50, but it's really not 50-50. It's like maybe 60-40.
Okay,
So-
that's a whole different scenario though. That's a little different. I'm talking about you have a 9 to 5, she has a 9 to 5.
Uh-huh.
You're an engineer,
Uh-huh.
she's a CNA.
Okay,
But
she
this
read-
scene is that
Hey,
backing up hours,
hey.
bro.
This
That's
scene
an
is-
overtime.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
we're talking about.
but
Hey,
you can't-
listen.
No, but you can't say that though because
Right.
okay, let me break it down for you, right? So I was in school when I was pregnant. okay? And then I had to stop school. I was going to school, and my mother was in the car with my newborn baby. I gave birth in March, so I'm still in school at the time. Out of every class, I'm running out, breastfeeding, going back. So it's not about the same opportunities that we have. My life is at a halt right now. You're able to still go out and work. You're still able to go outside and do what you want to do. At that point, I have to pick and choose because I have a child. So therefore, my schedules are not the same. Like now, my son's 12. Like I could do whatever I need to do. But as for a baby, I can't. So someone have to stop school. I had a C-section. My C-section wasn't as, my cousin had one. She was up and walking the next day. Me, no, I was in the hospital for a whole week. So that's where I feel like sometimes men don't get that part either. Everything is different. And then technically, we do for the first 2 years of the child's life take on full responsibility. Even if the man is in the home, we still have that full responsibility. You're out working. What are we home doing? Breastfeeding, cooking dinner, doing laundry, just to make it easier for you to go out and go to work, but then we burn ourselves out. So where comfortability comes into play, it's not about making sure that the household matches the household. But at the end of the day, the child should never need no more for anything, no matter how much your salary is, no matter how much my salary is. My child should not be woke. If I call you on the phone and be like, hey, you need a pair of sneakers, and you have it, you can't say, oh, I just bought a pair of sneakers. Or can't do that. It's not about you're not paying my bills. I'm not asking you to pay my bills. I'm not asking you to pay my car note. I'm not asking you to do nothing else besides take care of the child. Me, I got me and my kid too. But at the end of the day, you can't be living a high life and your son out here walking around with holes in their socks.
Well,
and
no,
holes in their shoes.
definitely that's not what
so
I'm saying.
that's where I feel like that's where you were coming from. It wasn't about the household per se. Like, oh, well, you got a 2-story house, then you need to give me a 2-story house.
Yeah. Well, hold on, we're gonna come back to that. Kat, why did you legally disagree?
Legally, and then I have my own personal opinions.
Okay.
Personal opinions, you should want your kid to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that takes, make your kid comfortable. Legally speaking, right? Like James said, if he did whatever it is he needed to have done to put himself in whatever position, to earn whatever income so he can give himself the life he wanted, and also provide for his child in the same manner. If he's taking his kid to Bali and you would also like to do the same for your child, figure it out, get another job, right? Okay. It's not like, do you want to go to Bali and he also has to pay for you to take your kid to Bali and, well, not your children to Bali. Well, the thing is he put himself in a position where he can actually do that, have the child have certain experiences. And whether it's the mom or the dad, if the other party cannot do that, that's unfortunate, but legally speaking, should not be on that other parent. Okay. Because that other parent specifically put itself in a position. Listen, if you had called me a geek when I was in school, because, like, hey, this girl's always in the book, etc., 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 and now I'm in a position to do certain things because I was the geek, okay, but that's the bed I made. You made whatever bed you made, and if you do not have the same income and you cannot provide the same, legally speaking, the other parent should not be required.
Live within your means.
Yeah.
Live within your means. Hold on. Now, okay, I got a question for you, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say this. No disrespect.
Oh,
this
no.
is respectful.
Go ahead. No,
okay?
Go ahead.
12 years ago, you were how old?
12 years ago, I was 17.
Okay.
17. So you had your son at 17. All right. I'm going to say respectfully one more time because this next question might come off a little crazy.
And if it does, we'll let you know.
At 17, so 9 months prior to that, I don't know when your birthday is, you could have been 16 when you conceived, possibly, right?
Okay. Listen.
I'm trying to say, like, yo,
Dude,
if you was fucking, you was going to get pregnant. I'm like, something's got to give. So, so.
You must speak English.
Oh, it's like saying, right, you were burning wood and
So, at 16, 17 years old, you're having sexual intercourse. Obviously, we all know there's a possibility of getting pregnant here.
Can I correct you?
Hold on one second.
No.
That wasn't a choice for me.
Well, you, the correction has to be you all, not she.
Yes.
She wasn't having sex by herself.
Well, no,
so
I agree with you. She wasn't having sex by herself.
Which is why she didn't get pregnant by herself.
But I feel like the burden of the decision is going to fall on the woman at the end of the day.
To do
because You have the decision to what you want to do with your body. Fine, I should be able to control myself so I can wear a condom. I can, at 17 I was getting snipped, but wear a condom or whatever the case may be. Because that's how we're going to prevent from us having a kid. But for you, it's a little different. Because if you let me have sex with you raw, we both understand the risk at that point, right?
What do you mean if she lets you? I have to cut you off for you.
No.
You
But
both.
We both decided to have sex raw.
Listen,
Okay,
you
fine.
both played
Since I wanna
Russian
be
roulette.
freaking
That's what you
technical.
both did.
Bam!
Right.
All right, so we both decided to play Russian roulette. Fine, cool. At what point do women take accountability to say, well, hold on, listen, I'm 17, 16 years old. I'm having unprotected sex with this guy. There's a chance I might have a baby. I haven't gotten to where I want to get to in life, and this is going to be a problem.
James, the court doesn't like
Why does the woman have to take that responsibility?
No, it's
Exactly.
not.
Because
You have
y'all the
two
ones that
parties
are-
getting
No.
pregnant. You have
I
two
hear
parties
you, but
having
I'm not doing.
sex.
I can't carry.
She's
the child,
not
and-
impregnating herself.
Yeah, but it's pro-choice at the end of the day. I can't tell you to go
You
have an
also have the
abortion.
choice not to have unprotected sex.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
Because you can still have unprotected sex and not,
Right, you
release.
can pulled out.
And not release. I mean,
Uh,
okay, fine.
yeah.
I know, don't do that.
There are
just
millions of people
I'm just
walking
saying.
this earth from that.
I'm
Yeah,
just
un-
saying.
I'm
I'm just
too
the
saying.
method
kids
that
in.
doesn't
Pull up
work.
method does not work, right? It don't work. It don't work. All right.
Pull up, get weed.
But hold on. So
It's not a
so
plan.
all right. So y'all not rocking with that whole thought idea that it's really not on the man at some point.
Both responsible.
No.
As a
No,
minute.
we're
You
both,
both
we're both
made-
the decision. We're both equally responsible.
You're
We're both
both-
equally irresponsible too.
Thank you.
Okay,
So-
so all right, fine. We're both equally irresponsible.
Yes.
Fine.
If
Now-
you know you're not ready and you go and you have sex in the raw and you're fertile, whether or not you're fertile or not, you won't know until the girl gets pregnant. Y'all both responsible. Financially and every other way, you're responsible. Both of you.
All right, so that kind of kills the
You
question I was
know,
going
you know what I wish, man? I wish the people that are able to have a kid together and are raising a kid in a very healthy environment where they decide as both co-parents and they're very, okay and they have a very good relationship with each other. They don't necessarily have to be together, but I wish those people speak up more. Because there's something that they're doing that other people are not doing.
Right, like for instance, in my situation. So my ex-fiance was in my child's life since my son was 2 years old.
Mhm.
We broke up about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Still a part of my child's life. We have the best co-parenting relationship, and that's not my child's biological parent. You know what I'm saying? So we have if I was to say right now, hey, I need a break, my ex, no problem, will take my child for a week, a month, 2 months. I'm going back to school, and I really let my ex know, like, it's gonna be a lot for me. You know, when I'm going back to school, whatever you need, I got you. And that's not my child's biological parent. And I respect that because my ex doesn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there are people, and I do appreciate the men that's out there and the women that's out there that have healthy co-parenting relationships with the child's other parent. Because like you said before, it is very, very beneficial to the child in the long run. You know what I'm saying? To see both their parents interacting. And sometimes, even if y'all fake it, it'll still be, I know sometimes probably
Kids are not stupid.
kids ain't
I don't
stupid.
know. I
No, they're
don't
not
think it is.
stupid. But guess what?
It
I feel as if
doesn't
like
have to be an animosity there.
it doesn't have to be animosity
Right.
there. You know what I'm saying? And I know in the black community, we do not feel like therapy is something that's needed. And in my personal opinion, I feel like it is.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
if
agree.
you guys, because then you guys, learning how to communicate is like the easiest thing. Because I feel like a lot of reasons why you guys probably don't get along is because you guys don't know how to communicate properly. Or it's always like a constant battle. Like who got the biggest chest? And you know what I'm saying? Like
Some people are just terrible people. It's just
right, and some people are
Yeah.
right, and some people are just terrible. But guess what?
We are
having
terrible
having a
people.
third party. But guess what? Having a third
We got
party.
two of them.
Right. Having a third party check you though. But okay, imagine sitting inside of a therapy session and having a third party. You thinking that you do everything right. You thinking she's doing everything right, and the therapist checks the both of y'all.
Something
They're
right.
like, you ain't doing this, and you ain't that. Like, oh shoot, okay, maybe there's something I should change. Maybe there's things I should work on. Then that'll be more beneficial because communication, honestly, and actually understanding the other person too. Because you could listen and hear and still not understand.
Got you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And if you don't want to answer, just tell me
Oh,
answer.
no, go ahead.
Is there anything, right, if this gentleman came and said, listen, I messed up, no question. But I want to rectify. I want to remedy. Like, I do want a relationship with my son. What, if anything, I can do? What are the steps I can take from where I am to get to the point where I actually forge a relationship with my child, and we can do alternate weeks and not just weekend. I'm not just a weekend dad, or I just don't see my kid altogether. Like, what, if anything, can this gentleman do? Is there anything you could counsel him?
So I actually did, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about my experience with him.
I love that you said that.
It's not. It's definitely not about me, and I make that clear to everybody. Like, he can say anything you want to say about me, but one thing he cannot say is that he has worst baby mother ever. Because I'm so laid back and so chill. Because at the end of the day, it's what's beneficial for my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already has so much things against him, being black, being a male in this society, and I have to, like, being transparent with my son. I'm very transparent. I'm like, this world does not see you the way I see you. Okay? So I feel like it's very important for him to have his father in his life.
Okay.
And my son has been in therapy for about 5 years now.
Okay.
And I gave the therapist his father's number, and I said they should have a session or several sessions together. His father was reluctant. He didn't see the point in it. You know, from what the therapist told me, that he didn't see the point in going to therapy to try to rectify the relationship between my son and himself. And that, at that point, just told me that he just doesn't care.
Did the court ever order a forensic?
They did.
For
they
all
did,
three?
and they was we
Okay.
had one, but that was when he had to play face. You know, he had to play face.
I would think he would need a therapy session maybe between y'all two first before
We had
the kid.
with the
Court appointed?
the court appointed, yeah. So we
No, I would think we don't know what his issue is. We don't know why he's the way he is. I don't know what you know about
Mommy's
his childhood.
issues. It's mommy's,
right?
it's
We don't know
mommy's
about his
issues.
childhood.
That's what you think.
Where the mom, if his mom was involved, if his dad was involved, if he was physically abused. Like, if those things, he may need therapy himself.
His issue, but I noticed that once when my son was born, I did try to force him to be involved. Cause I'm thinking, like, how could you look at this cute little baby and not want to be a part of their life? Like, how could you not? And
especially if they look like you, bro.
and he for the life of him,
You in this, he looks like me.
he for the life of him could not, watching how I am and how I mothered my son, it really turns him off. It turns him off because of the attention and the devotion that I gave to my son. And he did have mommy issues. Or he does have mommy issues. Like, his mom, you know, she's alcoholic and stuff. She wasn't involved in his life. So he never really had that nurturing, you know, the mom to be nurturing. So watching me parent, or even seeing my mom, how she was, like, you know, nurturing, it turns him off. Like, it aggravated him. And that's why he wanted to, like I said, separate me from everybody and keep me isolated, you know? Because I'm his. He could control that. He couldn't control everything else around him. But me, that's one thing that, in that moment, he felt like he could control. So being around my son and seeing, even now, you know, hearing my son talk, and that he's 12. My son is a mind his own. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do something, he's not doing it. I'm not forcing him. In that aspect, I'm not. So when he hears that, like, to him, it's just like, yeah, I'm not doing it. Like, therapy, I'm not doing that. We don't do therapy. But it's just like, this is your kid. Foster relationship. It's not like he doesn't have another child. He does. But the difference is because he's with that girl.
Oh, yeah,
He's with her. But she's experiencing the same things I'm experiencing. It's like, when they're good, everything is good. And when they're bad, the first thing that he attacks is a little girl.
Oh, so he's the common denominator.
So he'll pull away. I used to give you $150. I used to pay her daycare fees, and I'm not paying it no more. I'm buying the Similac and the Infamil, I'm not buying no more. So he'll attack the child, because it's not about the kids for him. It's about the person that he knows he can control.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I did try. I tried umpteen times.
You lost me at that.
But at a certain point, for my sanity and for my child's self-esteem, I'm not gonna. And that's why I was trying to tell the court too. You guys do not know my kid for you to tell me what's in the best interest. If I'm telling you, and my son is telling you that he doesn't want to move forward, then listen, because you're forcing that on him, and then now I got to deal with the depression. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
difficult. That's why I put him into therapy, because he was depressed. He hated going over there.
Gotcha.
He's not being treated. He's not being treated
that
the
makes
same.
sense.
You know, he's being isolated, and he can't do this, he can't do that. Where when he's home with me, he's able to express himself.
Gotcha.
And, you know what I'm saying? So
And not 12 years old. It's like a crucial age for a young
Yeah, he's developing his mental. Yeah,
because there's certain things.
I can't teach him.
Exactly, and you know that too already. So
Teach him. Y'all know how hard it is to teach a boy how to pee? I don't got a pee.
Girl.
Okay, like that was different.
yeah, I didn't think about it like that. I didn't think about it like that.
I got a question for you. So, in your experience, how many times or how often do you come across a willing father that's like fighting, but the mother is just unbelievably just does not want to work with the father?
A lot. I get a lot of those. I mean, a lot. And
why do you think that is though? What is it that what's the pushback?
what I realize a lot of the time, it's people's emotions get involved. Once people's emotions are involved, and someone is angry with the other, and it could be something completely, like, I'm the attorney. I see just the legal aspect of it.
Black and white, yeah.
Like, my client is entitled to this, and then I'll hear stuff like, well, he didn't do this, or he plays too many video games, like just things that have nothing to do with nothing in terms of dad and child relationship, right? So I'll get all of those. Like, I do unfortunately get a lot of women, unfortunately, where the dad is fighting, and it's all like we're going to trial. And the mom is not budging. It's like, and they're talking about people as if it's a complete total stranger, someone they don't know. I'm thinking, you all had a kid together. You know this person, especially when it's dad. And I usually get the dads who are like involved, and then there was an argument about something, and then the child was taken away as a form of punishment or retaliation. So I get a lot of those.
Can a mother who has some kind of agreement with the father, right, and he's moved on now, there's
Written agreement?
Yeah, a court agreement. It's on paper. And
You mean a court order?
a court order.
Okay.
He has 50% custody, or whatever the situation is.
Court
Maybe he's every
order?
other weekend, I
Okay.
don't know. Whatever it is.
You said court
But there is a
order.
court
So
order.
I need to know.
Right. So, and let's say he now has a girlfriend, she's moved in, and now the baby mother's like, oh, I don't want her around my son, so I'm not sending him over there.
That's nonsense.
What is it that he can do to...
He doesn't need to
He
do
doesn't do
anything. Move for a violation.
Right.
That's it. Listen, if I'm supposed to get that kid, whatever that arrangement is, 3 days this week, next week I get 4 days, and so forth, or 1 week this, and the other person gets it the next week, whatever that arrangement is. For the summer, you get 1 month. Whatever that arrangement is, you don't get to say, I don't like your girlfriend, I don't like your boyfriend, I don't like your new husband, wife, dog, whatever. If you're going to make that, you had better come up with some really good reason why that person is a danger to the kid. It can't just be buy me from Italy. Like, I just don't like, I don't like this person. Like, I don't like her, I don't like him.
So you're saying you've seen cases where people, like the mom or the dad be like, yeah, I just don't feel like it.
Not when there's a court order. If there's a court order, I am quickly sending you a very professional, not so nice letter reminding you what the court order and reminding you of the consequences for violating that order. And if my client has to bring a petition so we can enforce the court order, you're gonna pay for the attorney fees.
Oh, okay, so
I like that point.
it's Friday now, I'm supposed to get my kid. She doesn't want to give him to me. I call you as my attorney, like, hey, listen, she's not trying to give me my kid. It's now Monday. What happens?
Unfortunately, I'm the attorney who picks up the phone on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
I will, not unfortunately, actually fortunately, I will pick up the phone and I will tell you, do you have a thing? Call the cops. You have an order.
Yeah, but we said earlier, if we call the cops is not going to say this is not...
No.
Not when there's an order.
Oh, there's a court order.
Not
We call
if there's
the
a court
cops.
order.
They're going to force her to give me my
Not if
child.
there's a court order.
She's in violation.
There's a court order.
See, this is information
Does
you
it
guys
have to
don't
get
know.
that ugly? No, for real. Don't know,
If you
man.
have a court order, you're in violation of that court order.
You are in violation of the court order.
I'm telling you,
And
females
now,
have been getting away with murder for so long,
listen,
bro.
you might have an attorney. I'm sorry, you might have officers who just for whatever reason, just don't want to get. Some officers will call you and say, bring the kid over, right? Or if you go over to the house, we'll just tell you you need to hand the kid over.
Okay.
Right?
Now,
if you have a police officer, then you wait till Monday, you file emergency.
So hold on. I'm at her house, the police officer is there, and she's refusing to bring the kid outside. What can the cop do at that point?
I mean, they're not going to break down the door,
Right.
right? If she doesn't open the door, she doesn't open the door, right? It's not really a criminal offense. It's
Right.
a family court offense, and your remedy is to file what's called an emergency application.
Okay, cool. I filed an emergency application. What's the length you've seen that take for me to be in front of a judge?
If I file an emergency application, I expect to be seen the day, if not the next day. It's an emergency.
Okay.
Doesn't matter anywhere.
It's an emergency.
Okay,
So let me give you an example. So I had a case where dad was I represent a lot of men, where dad was traveling to France or England or whatever with the kid, right? Court order, right, says he could travel outside of the country with the kid, right? Mom decides the day before to drive the kid to Texas. The day before.
What the hell?
Luckily, the next day, the flight was like at 11 p.m., right? So he calls me and he says, hey, my daughter just texts me and says, hey, I don't know where mom's taking us, but like we're leaving or whatever. He finds out they're leaving to Texas. You know, I call the attorney, tell the attorney, you need to tell your client to turn around because we have a court order that the dad has the kid for the next 2 weeks to travel to Europe with the kid, right? Nothing. Filed an emergency application, and the court issued an order and says, listen, I do not care how you get this kid back to New York, and I don't care what it costs you, you're going to get the kid back to New York. And if the kid misses the flight, whatever it is it costs for them to get back in the next immediate flight is what you're going to pay. So the mom did get the kid back.
In the event she did not do those things, right, and she missed the flight,
issue a warrant.
Let's say she doesn't have the money to.
That's not. Listen, that is
Well,
not.
let's say she can't come up with the money.
That's
What
not.
happens?
Listen, the court.
Sure,
That is
that'd
not
be
a
fair.
calculation for the court.
Yeah, but hold on. We're talking about realistically speaking. Let's say she's just not financially like the father is.
Figure it
and
out.
She can't afford an $1,800 last minute
Don't
flight.
take the kid out the state.
But let's say she did anyways and she missed the flight, and the court says if you miss this flight, you're gonna have to put this kid on the next flight. What happens?
You are looking at a warrant for a violation.
Okay, so they're gonna
Arrest warrant? Like,
Yes, because right now you're all in violation of a court order, right? And this child is supposed to be in New York with the dad. At this point, the kid is not with the dad. And they will, right? Like if you ask for to issue an warrant, ask for warrants before, they have issued warrant before and have arrested the parent.
Have you ever been successful in getting a female arrested?
Yes.
Love to hear that.
You know what it is? Nah, I'll say
Well,
this.
well,
love to
it's
hear
not.
that.
It's not.
It doesn't
it's not-
happen often.
Why?
So it's
Why?
like to hear it happen is like amazing.
Well, but usually the court will give you ample chances to show up. Listen, once we can show that you were properly served, you had notice, and you either are violating a court order or you just decide you're not going to show up, they'll issue a warrant and haul you in there.
When you say served, that's one thing that I'm gonna ask a question about. Because has there been instances where the client is, or well, not the client, the respondent or the whoever it is, the opposite parent or the
Adversary?
is lying? Yeah, is lying about like I never got served or whatever it is. Do you have any proof to show that?
Yes, we do what's called an inquest hearing. You bring in the process server who served them. That's why normally when I do cases, I hire professional people who are licensed to do what they do. Because they know what it is they need to do. And, you know, if it's going to be I usually ask my clients, is this one of those where they're going to come in and there's going to be a fight as to whether, because I don't want to deal with that whole jurisdiction, you know, issue, whether or not you were served. And if you tell me, yeah, she's going to be one of those, yeah. If you all can work it out where I can just tell the process server, listen, she's going to be there, she's expecting you, then easy peasy. But if it's one of those, no. You get a process server, they are licensed, they will videotape the entire encounter and record it, etc.
Interesting.
So you can come in line. It's not going to work out well because now you're perjuring yourself.
And that's a whole nother problem.
And that's a whole other jail type problem.
Yep.
Damn. But I've been, I mean, I'm sure there's been instances where either parent have lied about things like that. They perjured themselves and then they realize it's too late. They were like, oh shoot. Damn.
What Do grandparents have rights?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so since they do have rights, and does any on any side, mother or father, for the grandparents to have
Both
rights,
sides.
does that parent have to be involved in that, or can grandparents say, "Oh, she's not letting me see my grandson," and she files her own thing, or does that have to go through the father or the mother or whatever the case may be?
Case specific.
Okay.
Yeah, case specific for the usually when I see those types of cases, it's usually, for example, mom, let's say, has custody, right? Or they're sharing custody, and let's say, for example, dad says, "I don't want the child to stay with mom's mother." No apparent reason. Like, you're not saying she's not a drunk, a crackhead, poor morals, like, I don't like her mother. Yeah, so I usually get it in the sense of the child is also bringing the case along with the grandparent.
Okay.
Right.
So in cases that you've done,
and I've done it where when a child died and the grandparent is there, trying to assert their rights.
Okay, so what about a situation where the parents are in court and they're trying to figure out a visitation type of schedule, and she goes, "Oh, well, I don't want him to have the baby because he leaves him with his mother or his brother or his uncle and stuff like that, and I don't want none of these people to watch the baby." Does she legally have a right to do that? Or once he's in my custody, whoever I feel is, well, what I feel comfortable with to leave him with the babysit, whether I'm at work or whatever the case may be.
So I had that situation where I said that because, like I said, his mother is an alcoholic. But I didn't bring up that his mother was an alcoholic. I just said that if there's parenting time, he needs to be the one spending time with the child because you're fighting me for custody and visitation. So you leaving him with Pookie and them and grandma and grandpa, how are you spending time with your child? And you're ripping and running the streets. So technically, my child could be home with me.
See, her case is different.
Yeah, her case is very different.
So the child could be home with me. But
we're talking about active fathers.
So active fathers, then no, I could care less if Pookie and I'm watching the kid. because you're actively spending time with your child.
Right.
So if Pookie come over there and spend time,
let me give you an example.
And then Gigi say, "I want to see the baby." Gigi, right?
If I have a case, right, where mom has 1 week, dad has a week, another week, they alternate weeks, right? We're not expecting you to not go to work while you have that week with the kids. So yes, it's possible like someone else is picking up the kid, someone else is staying with the kid while you're at work, or let's say if it's a kid that's not already in school and they're a young kid. No, just because you have alternate doesn't mean, it just means that when you come home from work, you should be spending some time with your kid, but it doesn't mean like on the weekends, you don't go out. Like, just because you have them for that one weekend, like you can't go out at all. Right? Because you can't control a wedding coming up. You can't control just hanging out, just life.
Right. Is what you was about to say.
No, because the way certain things she said about weekends and stuff like that. Because when we were talking about me and you, and then there's been instances where mothers would, you know what, I'm gonna make it that you only get to see him on the weekends, just because I want to disrupt your social life or whatever it is. And then I'm just like, I'm thinking about things like this, and I'm just like, what do you personally get out of it by putting that out?
To add on to what Izzy said, right, Kat? So, let's say a father is fighting for 50-50 custody, right? So, time during the weekday and alternate weekends, right? And the mother's like, nope, I only want him to have the baby on the weekends. Can she legally do that, or will the court force the other schedule, like where he gets him during the weekend, the week also?
The court. Sounds like this case is going to trial. That's what it sounds like.
There's no mediation here.
Yeah.
There's no mediation there.
But when you say trial, can you tell us a little bit more about how the trial process goes? Like what to expect, blah blah. I mean, I know each case is
a little different.
But
even before we get to trial, though, and before mediation, let's say we're at the initial
like a temporary order of custody.
Okay. Temporary order of custody, and these things are going on, right? And she's saying, yo, listen, I don't want him to have him on Monday through Friday. I only want him to have him on weekends. And that's what I want.
That's not the law.
That's not the law?
It's not the law.
Okay.
Like, what is your basis? Whether it's dad doing it, whether it's mom, why do you get to dictate when the other parent sees their kid?
Well, that's because all women feel like they can.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, like when there's no court involved, right? Usually this happens, the court is not involved,
Right.
right? And usually it's like, I get like men who come to me, right? And they'll say, I haven't seen my kids in 6 months, or I haven't seen my kids and I'm like, why not?
She won't let
Tons of texts, tons of email communication asking, and they just will not, like, no legitimate reason. That's because the court was never involved. Court was never involved. Like, you keep asking someone something who's hell bent on not giving it, and they already have it, so they really have no reason to work with you, right? That's when you go to court and you compel them to do what they're required to do.
Okay. Kay mentioned something earlier, and I guess we could get the legal standpoint of this. If I have 50% custody, how does child support work in that manner?
What child support? You have 50% custody.
Right.
50% of the time, I'm financially responsible for the child. 50% of the time, you're financially responsible for the
But
child.
to rebuttal what she said earlier, she said that wasn't necessarily true.
If you already have a child support case already, like, you would have to go back and then to try to get that
Well, let's say
vacated.
let's say the custody case came first.
Oh yeah, so then you would have to go get that vacated. Oh, the custody case came first.
Custody case came first, and then she decides to go put you on child support. What is the likelihood? Only in a 50% situation.
What would be the basis for the support?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's 50.
No,
Time spent is 50-50.
Because support, right? And when people say, like, she puts him on child support, if the child lives with the mom the majority of the time, and dad gets to be the fun parent who sees the kid every other weekend, right? Mom is paying for the place where the child lives, the food, the clothing, shoes, transportation, birthdays, vacations, not to mention having to play hide and go seek 500 million times. That too is time consuming, right? So yeah, there's a price tag on that, right? And that's why the two parents should be sharing it. But if the child is being shared equally by both parents, right? And the child lives with one parent 1 week, the other parent the other week, why would you get any money? So even for sometimes you have custody, right? It might be dad gets the child Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right?
And then mom picks up Monday after.
Mom picks up Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe alternate weekends or whatever, right? It still would be prorated based on the number, how much time that child ends up spending with the parent.
Oh, so the system does prorate it. They will factor
They will factor in the amount of time. Yes.
Oh, so it's not an automatic 17% period.
It's not an automatic, just because the reason why it turns out to be this way, because quite often, right, I also do have clients who just do not want 50-50, right? And so for those clients here, you're going to pay more.
Right.
And if you live out of state, you're going to pay more. Because how are you going to do a 50-50?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about a scenario where, oh no, you just said they prorated. So even if the father got every other weekend, 2 months out the summer, spring breaks, winter breaks, all the little holidays in between. Because once you start adding those up, I feel
No. Because what's happening here is dad or mom, whoever's doing that, quite often the dads, gets to be the fun parent. And mom stays up doing homework and being the disciplinary parent and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
And mom has no social life, by the way.
Okay.
Because she's home every day.
I at one point, like I said, I was trying to be as reasonable as possible. I made a whole settlement proposal and everything where I did it up until my child was 16 years of age. Dates. You get this holiday this year. We split, and because I wanted to move, and that was his biggest thing. He did not want me to relocate. And I presented everything about how it is beneficial for the child. I was going to the best school district, in the best county, whatever, just to prove my point. And nothing worked for him. His thing was he didn't want to have to pay for travel. He didn't want to be. The only way he would agree is if he didn't have to pay for travel because he's not telling me to move. I'm the one that wants to move. He's not gonna. He doesn't want to pay child support.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Does he work?
Yes.
Does he make money where he could afford this stuff, or would it be a hardship on
No,
him?
it wouldn't be a hardship because he lives at home with his mom and he doesn't pay no bills.
Interesting.
So he didn't want to be put on child support and he didn't want to pay for the travel. So if, coming up for summer, he didn't want to have to pay for that. Then also, he also did not want to have to pay for, let's say if he was in camp, it would be my responsibility because I am the one that moved. So it's a disadvantage for him. I'm inconveniencing him basically because he has to put him in camp when he's here because I have to go to work. So then I'm literally going to pay for a mortgage. Like I said, car note, car insurance, school.
But those
everything.
things, the car note.
No, but I'm saying these are all the bills that I'm paying for myself. And then now when he comes to you, I'm still paying the camp. I'm still paying for clothes. I'm still paying for travel. I'm still paying for...
Does he get a say in the camp?
Yeah, he gets to get a say in the camp. I literally, dummied it down for him. I literally, gave him all leeway. First of all, the camp that he's supposed to go to was his own cousin's. His cousin trained my son in basketball. He was going to his camp. So, family discount, right? So, it made it easier on you. I could send him somewhere else where it was more expensive. But I'm sending him to your own family member, and it was still an issue. Like I said, it was basically...
Did you guys mediate?
Yeah, we did. His attorney was getting pissed with him. His attorney at one point was just like, she's literally giving you everything. I even put in here that I'm not putting you on child support, and it still wasn't enough. He just wanted to pay for
we
it.
figured a while ago he was a problem.
She was so confused that she was just like,
I'm trying to give this gentleman some benefit.
Right?
You know,
Ounce of
Listen, let's just say January 31st, I got an apology from the judge for literally dragging me through the mud. Even my son's the lawyer.
When we're done, you can tell me which party, which judge, not here.
Okay, yeah, no. My son's attorney, she could not stand me because she thought that I would coach my son how to speak. I'm like, gosh, he's very well. He's very articulate for his age and how he answers questions. Yeah.
Was this all turn Caucasian?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she thought I was, and she would tell the judge I think she's coaching him on how to, so she hated me. So everything was, the child, I don't think that the child wanted to move on his own. I think the mom is encouraging. Even after the trial was over, she apologized to me.
Damn.
Because she realized that from the beginning, that everything that I said was the truth. And then I'm not forcing my kid to say everything.
You represented by counsel or you represented yourself?
At first, I was represented by counsel. I relieved the first attorney because she was just aggravating the crap out of me.
18B?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the second
I mean,
one.
it's 18B. I feel bad for them. They have
a lot.
a caseload. I have people walk in, they don't know who their clients are, they don't know anything about the client, have not spoken with their clients. And I'm like, I don't know how you can make an assessment or even a recommendation when you never spoke with your client. Yeah.
No, but this one, the second one that I had made her really cool.
Okay.
Good. She baked me a cake for my birthday.
Oh, look at you.
I love that.
So, okay, can I ask you a question? Yeah. How long was that whole process when you filed for child support until now, January 31st? How long was this 6
years.
Wait, no, you mean custody or support?
Custody, yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
6 years. COVID came.
But COVID wasn't.
Yeah, but COVID was also.
COVID was also an issue.
Yeah.
But then also because he still would not just let up, So
even with a kid who could actually articulate and say what he wanted.
What he wanted. He would always be he would say I want to live in a house.
Who the.
He's like, I want to live in a house.
I want to know who the magistrate was.
Funny story about the magistrate. No.
It's just 6 years.
Go ahead.
6 years is nuts.
6 years is insane.
That's insane.
I haven't had anything that lasted.
It was ridiculous.
When
I tell people that, it's crazy.
I pray every father that's in a situation like that and that's not getting their first shake, keep fighting, man.
No, listen.
It's my turn.
This episode is all about
Since 2018.
Reaching out to the fathers that are trying and really want to be in that kid's life. There's hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
No, there is.
And you all need to listen to your counsel. You go.
Well, they need to
you
get
pay,
counsel. They need to get a lawyer.
You ask for legal advice. You get legal advice, and your answer cannot be, I feel bad. No, I mean, I don't know what to tell you now.
Because what my attorney told me day one was, she's playing dirty. Why are you playing nice? So, and you know, at some point, guys are going to have to bite the bullet, and it is going to have to be what it is. It gets nasty. It is what it is, and it is what it is. So, the whole point of this episode and why I got the best attorney ever to come on here was to give y'all some hope, some contact information for the guys that are, you know, fighting out there and see that, like, yo, it's really rigged against you. It's not. You can navigate it. You just need the right person on your side to do the talking for you. You can't do it for yourself. I keep telling a lot of guys this, and you know, unfortunately, some of my other friends who are on this show now had to learn the hard way, because I tried to tell him early enough, but he didn't want to listen. I'm gonna put you on the spot. So, want to talk to?
Listen,
but listen, he's, you know, your light's coming. I told
Listen,
you it was gonna get darker before it got better.
James, for me, my priority is just my son. Nothing else.
No, of course I hear you.
Nothing else.
But
I
just don't like to see good men go through that type of situation.
Even if I'm the villain, I'm the bad guy. Her story and my story, she's not. That's okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that.
And I appreciate men that, because I don't want to seem like, you know, I might probably look like a bitter baby mama.
No, you wouldn't.
You
wouldn't be considered a bitter baby mama.
So
you have the most unique situation ever. I've heard some horror stories,
but
it's very unique.
Yeah, you lost me at, you know, the physical violence.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't have any, like, if I hear
Sympathy
you
for
all,
someone.
I'm just not, I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to help you. If I find out before, I'm not taking on the case. If I find out during, I'm asking to be relieved as your attorney. Because I do not want to be
Yeah,
part
it
of
looks
that.
bad. And I'm sure it looks bad if your lawyer's like, yeah, I would like to be relieved.
Oh,
Well, listen, we don't say we want to be relieved because you're a
those-
scumbag,
yeah, you
right?
can't,
We say we
yeah.
want to be relieved because, you know, we just can't get along, irretrievable
Right.
differences. You know, we just can't get
All
along
right,
anymore.
so look, we're gonna wrap it up. Kat, at this point, you can give your contact information for all of the guys that's about to blow your phone down. How can we get in contact with you?
That's what Kat and Mark.
Can
You can give an email or phone number.
Oh yeah, you can shoot me an email. It's csmesq@gmail. I respond to email, and then, you know, if we speak, I'll give you my other info, IG and all
Okay.
that, phones and all that.
We are working on her lawyer IG page. It's coming soon. Stay tuned for that. Izzy, thank you for coming by. It's always a pleasure. Kay, thank you for coming on. You got to come on other episodes. We have funner topics where we talk
No,
about
this was good because
relationships
this is
and
actually therapeutic for
toxicity
me.
stuff. Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I don't really talk about this at all ever. So
Good.
Would you like to say Izzy?
I know my story
Nah,
can help somebody else.
Because I'm seeing it from because I want to keep preaching that there's a lot of people that don't know about the system or don't know about the laws. Like, get the help. It's okay to ask for help, man.
Yeah, listen.
Go to people that know it, that been through it, that knows about it.
Please.
Like, don't just listen to your friends. My homie told me I should do that. Well, get legal advice. It's gonna cost. All right, man. You know what? If you care about it, why not?
And consultation with Kathy is free, right? Consultation
No.
is free? Oh,
Wait, what?
try to set up. Well, listen, you can get a consult. It might cost you some money, but I promise you'll be the best advice you ever got. So, you know, guys, again, it's not all bad. You can get help if you get the right help, and you can probably be in a better situation. So, with that being said, signing out. Until next time, see y'all.
I hate it.